As long as governments are printing money and the money supply increases, Bitcoin will go up, as will other assets, but Bitcoin will go up faster. About this trend that we saw in the past. So I think it's real. I think it's really interesting that we finally took this $100,000 barrier. Bitcoin has gone up a little bit more. It's about 120 now. But it's at all-time high levels. Same is true, of course, for the moving average and the realized price. But very interesting this month, the realized price, so the gray line, jumped over the moving average, the 200-week moving average, the black line.
Bitcoin is breaking barriers and redefining market confidence, with PlanB signaling that the cryptocurrency's latest surge is more than just a fleeting rally, it's a testament to its growing strength and scarcity. PlanB, the pseudonymous financial analyst and quantitative strategist known for the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model, has highlighted a significant milestone for Bitcoin. The cryptocurrency closed September at $114,000, marking the second highest monthly close ever and the fifth consecutive month above the $100,000 psychological barrier, which has now transitioned from resistance to a strong support level. While some market participants speculate that Bitcoin could drop below $100,000, PlanB argues this is unlikely, citing the current rally as a reflection of real market strength rather than speculative momentum. Other assets, including gold stocks and real estate, are also rising amid ongoing money printing and currency debasement, reinforcing Bitcoin's role as a hedge against monetary inflation. PlanB also points to key technical indicators, noting that the Relative Strength Index (RSI) now provides more actionable insights than older month-based overlays. He emphasizes that Bitcoin's realized price has surged above the 200-week moving average, signaling recovery from the deep 2022 bear market. The stock-to-flow model further underlines Bitcoin's scarcity, suggesting potential target ranges between $250,000 and $1 million. Renewed interest in cryptocurrencies, particularly following the political and economic developments under the Trump administration, has bolstered investor confidence, driving Bitcoin to new all-time highs near $125,700 and reinforcing its trajectory as a leading digital asset. Crypto's biggest moves are happening right now. Subscribe and turn on notifications to stay ready for the next breakout.
Bitcoin closed September at $114,000, and that's the second highest monthly close. It's also the fifth month in a row that Bitcoin closed above 100,000. So what we are seeing is that the 100,000 barrier, an important psychological barrier, used to be resistance, but that turned into support at the moment. So I know there's 2 out of 3 people that think that Bitcoin can still drop below 100,000 again. I don't think it will. Because current rally is not based on paper Bitcoin or some top of a bull market. It is a proper rally. In fact, all other assets are rallying too. So gold is at all-time high levels. Same is true for stocks, real estate, Bitcoin. So the underlying cause of all those assets to rise, of course, is the money printing, the debasement of our currency, the entire reason why Bitcoin was created as a hedge against that money printing. So as long as governments are printing money and the money supply increases, Bitcoin will go up, as will other assets, but Bitcoin will go up faster. About this trend that we saw in the past. So I think it's real. I think it's really interesting that we finally took this $100,000 barrier. Now notice the chart has a new color overlay. It's not months of until the next halving anymore, but it's the Relative Strength Index, the RSI. I think that's more indicative of what's about to come, and it gives more information about the trend. We'll dive deeper into the RSI, but what we see at the moment is that the really high levels, the red dots, we haven't seen them yet. We saw some orange, but not red yet. Yeah, if we go to the chart from low to high, we see the 200-week moving average. That's the dark black line. It's at 53,000 at the moment. Realized price, almost the same, 54,000. Bitcoin, 114, and stock to flow at about 500. Well, 114, of course, as we speak, Bitcoin has gone up a little bit more. It's about 120 now, but yeah, it's at all-time high levels. Same is true, of course, for the moving average and the realized price. But very interesting this month, the realized price, so the gray line, jumped over the moving average, the 200-week moving average, the black line. And if we look in the past when that happened, so when you have a bear market and then the moving average and realized prices get together, and then the realized price pumps. And here too, we see a very deep bear market in 2022. That was the worst bear market ever, in my opinion. Below the 200-week moving average and touching the realized price here, below the realized price. We came from very deep, from a deep bear market. So I'm not surprised that the new all-time high, if you will, the new bull market takes a little longer, because we had really big dip here, and there's a lot of trauma in the market, people that lost money because of this FTX thing. So right now we're recovering, and the realized price has once again jumped above the 200-week moving average. Very important point, I think. So my opinion is that it will diverge further from the moving average, as it did here in this bull market in 2021, in 2017, and in 2013. Okay, so the dotted line, of course, stock to flow, you know that, is 500K. There is a target range around that, because it's a very rough target. The range is 250 to 1 million. If the average of the halving period is somewhere in that range, that would be very nice. And I see it as a scarcity magnet. So the Bitcoin, of course, is very scarce. It will pull the value of Bitcoin up in an environment where money is being printed. So it will go up. This is a rough target. I don't know if we get there. I hope we do. By the way, all the articles about stock to flow and stock to flow cross asset model, and also about the efficient market hypothesis that I wrote, you can find them on my website, planbtc.com. Please take a look and read the articles to understand better what I'm talking about.
Bitcoin's latest market movements are painting a clear picture. Momentum is building, and technical indicators are signaling a strong bullish trend that traders cannot ignore. PlanB notes that Bitcoin's relative strength index currently stands at 69, comfortably within its typical trading range and far from overbought levels marked by red dots above 80. This indicates a solid uptrend with no immediate risk of a crash, as market FOMO and extreme greed have yet to appear. He expects some red dots signaling heightened investor enthusiasm to emerge later this year or in early next year, but for now the market remains stable. Looking at moving averages, PlanB highlights that the 200-week moving average is at $53,000, while the geometric mean reflecting the internal rate of return over the past 4 years sits at $45,000. The divergence between these lines signals growing market momentum, a key precursor to sustained bullish trends. The realized price, representing the average on-chain cost basis of Bitcoin, currently stands at $54,000, slightly above the 200-week moving average, acting as a historical support level during bear markets. Shorter-term realized prices, including the 2-year figure at $92,000 and the 5-month figure at $111,000, further reinforce Bitcoin's upward trajectory. In a highly volatile market, these indicators help traders navigate swings and identify emerging trend opportunities with confidence. Let's get back to the video.
RSI, so that's the color overlay in this chart. If we take a sharper look at that chart, that's this chart. Yeah, it's at 69 right now, and 69 is not in overbought territory. That would be 80 plus. The red dots. It's just, well, sort of the average RSI level that Bitcoin moves in, and it confirms a solid uptrend. And every bull market, of course, here in 21, 17, 13, we saw the red dots, the overbought situations, RSIs above 80. We haven't seen any red dots yet. So the big question, of course, now is red or no red. Will we see FOMO and RSI above 80 again? I expect to see some red dots, at least in this cycle, probably even this year in the last quarter or in the first quarter of next year. But time will tell. And what I do know, however, and that's very important too, is you can't have blue, so fear and a crash, without having red, greed and FOMO, in my opinion. So as long as there's no red, we don't have to worry about blue either. So no crash risk at the moment. Then if we look at the moving averages, we have seen the 200-week moving average all the way up to 53. But if we look at the gray line, it's the geometric moving average, and it's at 45. The difference between the two is this is just the average of all the closing price of the last 4 years, and the geometric mean is the internal rate of return, if you will. So you just look current BTC price and then 4 years back, and then you calculate the constant interest rate or the constant return needed to get from the starting point to the end point. That's the geometric return, and also that's how you calculate the geometric mean. Important thing is that they're not the geometric mean is always lower than the arithmetic mean, and that's by definition, and the difference is volatility. So the geometric mean is the 200-week arithmetic mean minus some volatility factor. If those lines diverge, as they are now, volatility is getting into the system. Momentum is building, and of course that's almost always a bull market followed by a slight bear market. I think this further proves that momentum is building, and momentum is a force. So it's like a train; you can't stop it instantly. It will go on for some time. Realized price is the on-chain data-driven indicator, and it's the cost price of the average Bitcoin, and it's at the moment at 54, higher than the 200-week moving average that was 53, right? So we can see that as a bear market bottom. In all the bear markets, 15, 18, and 22, we saw the realized price acting as a floor. So the 2-year realized price, and that's only measured all the coins that are bought last 2 years, not the entire period. So you sort of filter out all the lost coins in the beginning, the Satoshi coins, 1 million. It gives almost the same line, but it's at a slightly higher level. And that's the blue line. It's at 92 at the moment. And then you can take an even shorter period, only look at the short-term supply, the 5-month realized price. It's at 111,000. That's the yellow line.
Bitcoin continues to exhibit strong bullish momentum, trading comfortably above its 50-day, 100-day, and 200-day moving averages, which reinforces the overall upward structure. The relative strength index remains in neutral to slightly overbought territory, suggesting that the rally still has room to extend before reaching extreme levels. Shorter-term oscillators like the stochastic indicator indicate some overbought conditions, hinting at potential near-term pullbacks, but these are unlikely to derail the broader uptrend. trend. Combined with Bitcoin's scarcity and its position as a hedge against monetary inflation, the current technical setup supports sustained growth, providing traders and investors with confidence in navigating market volatility and capitalizing on emerging opportunities. Is Bitcoin's current bullish momentum sustainable, or could short-term overbought conditions trigger a temporary pullback? Crypto moves fast. Share your thoughts in the comments, spread the word with your network, and subscribe to catch the next wave before it hits.